The greatest thing to ever happen in Celtics history might be Brad Stevens going to the front office, man. Jrue Holiday just got traded back to the Portland Trail Blazers for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. The Boston Celtics just got Anthony Simons for Jrue Holiday. I am going to pull up their contracts right now. The news just broke 4 minutes ago. Jrue Holiday was just recently signed 30 million this year, this year's technically done, but 32.4, 34.8, and then 37.2 player option in 2028. Anthony Simons, though, who I mean is an up and coming player. He averaged 19 and 5 last year. His contract 25.8, 27.6. And honestly, depending on who you ask, Anthony Simons might be better now. Anthony Simons could very well be the better player at this point. Jrue didn't have the greatest season, the greatest playoffs that he's had. And then the second round picks, I mean, the fact that we got any picks as well with it, dude, Brad Stevens, man, he is the guy, man. I can't believe it. I mean, granted, this is not like a ridiculous, like obviously the biggest names or anything, but I wasn't expecting Jrue to go kind of that quick. It's been rumored here and there that Jrue, so we might have to give up a pick to get rid of him, and same thing with Porzingis, his contract. But teams want him, but the Trailblazers want him. I don't really understand that unless they are rerouting him a second time. And if you guys don't know, he was when the Bucks traded for Damian Lillard, he was originally sent to Portland, and then Portland traded him to us. Portland just traded for him back 2 years later when we're basically done with him. So I mean, I don't know what else is to come. It gets about, not even necessarily $10 million cheaper. It's a shorter contract for sure. But man, I mean, I was not expecting a talent of Anthony Simons to come back to the Celtics for Jrue Holiday. I was expecting, maybe a bad contract, maybe like if he was to go to the Heat for like Duncan Robinson and maybe a top 10 protected first round pick or something, something like that maybe. Or if he was to go to the Clippers, we get like Terrence Mann, or I think Terrence Mann's a Hawk. But you understand what I'm saying. Like you get players that make the salary work, and then maybe a somewhat protected pick. So yeah, I mean, obviously we knew that the Celtics had to make big moves as they are a second apron team. I'm trying to pull up news just to see anything else. Are a second apron team. They had to make moves. I'm sure this is not the only move we are going to see. Pretty much the third trade so far of the NBA offseason. It was Desmond Bane, then Kevin Durant, then Jrue Holiday. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Drew's gonna stay on the Blazers. I don't know. You get rid of Anthony Simons because you want to let Shaden Sharp start. Jrue Holiday, I would assume they would start. They're not paying a guy 30 plus million to come off the bench, especially a guy of Drew's, value that he can bring. But Portland also isn't, I don't think, there yet where they need the Jrue Holiday. So I wouldn't be surprised if, in the morning when I wake up, we see that the Blazers might look to reroute him. They might keep him, but I would expect them to reroute him. I was literally going to bed, and then I was informed of this trade. But yeah, man, that just was crazy. I did not expect the Celtics to get a talent like that back, especially so young. How old is he? He's got to be like 23, right? Oh no, he's 26. Never mind. Oh yeah, he was drafted in 2018. I always think that he was like a 2021 draft pick or something, but he's been there since like Dame, and he's been there for a while. Um, I don't know why I always think he's so much younger. He just never really popped up into the scene until around 2022, where he started half the games that season. He jumped almost 10 points per game, but uh, yeah. Again, I don't really like it for Drew. I like it for Anthony Simons. Again, Celtics don't have Tatum for pretty much all of next year. But a place where he can kind of not necessarily rock out because he's not going to be the number one guy by any means. We still have Jalen Brown, at least as of now. They still have Derek White, at least as of now. Porzingis, Payton Pritchard. That sucks. Ooh, that sucks for Payton Pritchard. Unless they bring Anthony Simons off the bench, or they start like a weird like three guard lineup of Pritchard, Simons, Derek White, and Brown at like the four. I doubt it though. Again, we're not gonna look too deep because it is the offseason just started. Game 7 was just last night as I'm recording this, as it's almost midnight. So, but a place where he can kind of go and play some more meaningful basketball. As in the past couple of years, he hasn't really been able to do that. Um, I'm sure some teams are upset by this. Some teams could have really used some Anthony Simons play. One of them, the team got Desmond Bain, so they don't really care anymore. Um, but I think his services, in like a Dallas, in like maybe where else could he maybe have been used off the top of my head? Maybe like a Milwaukee. There are some teams I think that are going to be bummed out by this. Um, but hey, other news that happened today: Mavs extend Gafford on a 3-year, $60 million deal. I think it's flat, so it's 20 mil per year straight up. It doesn't increase or decrease. It has been confirmed Halliburton has his torn Achilles. He put out a pretty heartfelt post on Twitter. I would go look at it if you haven't seen it. It sucks, man. The fact that he went down and man, obviously it sucks he tore his Achilles, but it's like it's the part of like in game 7, the biggest game. Like Shea said it perfectly in the post game interview from last night. He said it perfectly. The fact that it's your biggest game of your career and all that happens, it's just an unfortunate way, and it hurts more that he wasn't able to be there for his team than like the physical pain, if that makes sense. Um, Game 7 was the most watched finals game in 6 years. And then Chris Middleton picks up his $33.3 million player option with the Washington Wizards. I think we all figured that was going to happen. I would expect a team to probably trade for him around the deadline or just rock out. Washington, for some reason, doesn't really get rid of those players like Brogdon. They trade for Marcus Smart. There's probably at least one other guy I'm not thinking of that of around that where it's like older guy. He could be traded at the deadline. It's not the worst contract, and it would obviously would be expiring. But yeah, um, shock and trade, man. I'm going to bed. And obviously, Celtics are the team, or they're my team. And it's kind of they're one of the most interesting teams for this off season. So this is a big start to it. This is a big start to it. I'm really interested. Shams might have been cooking when he told us earlier that this might be the biggest trade like one of the biggest off seasons he's ever seen, which we all thought he was crazy, but it is starting off. If we're rating it out of 10, it's starting at a 8.5, 9, man, with these first 3 trades. Obviously, some more significant than others, but I mean, this is a shocker. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment any suggestions, what you think about stuff as well. And make sure you guys enjoy basketball.